Welcome everyone back to a brand new episode of Bustin' Musket Productions Animazing, the show that really needs another person uploading these videos because Jesus Christ, I'm a terrible person. I'll do it tonight. Ready Player One comes out, I'll basically do this. I will not open the movie or watch it until I get at least every episode from the past month up because, you know, I've been waiting for that movie to come out for a long time just so I can watch it again. And
unless you tell yourself, okay, I'm already done when you're really not, you just say, fuck it, let's just watch it.
Yeah, no, I will not. I get home from work at 7:30 today, so it'll be fine. Yeah. Also, Ready Player One, not gonna say much. You already know though, I think I told you.
Yeah.
There's a connection to today's episode in there. Except today's episode doesn't really have it either, which I'm guessing pissed off a lot of fans. The second movie, they have a character in the poster that's not even in the movie per se, kind of.
Yeah, that's true, huh?
Yeah, they're like, he's gonna have a big part in the second movie, and it's just like
he did.
He did, but like I think a lot of fans are kind of thinking, oh shit, is he gonna like make himself bigger and like fight the giant Godzilla? And it's like,
nah, it just made the Godzilla really OP.
Yeah, really fucking overpowered. Anyway, this will be kind of an interesting little thing because I'm planning on basically letting Lewis do an episode next week since he's coming back, and then we gotta redo Golden Time because I'm a fucking dumbass.
Yeah, in the start I was soft strong, but then when the people came out, I just kind of lost.
But even then it was fine because we had to close it up anyway, and it didn't help the fact that those girls are talking too.
That's true.
And yeah, that threw me off a bit, but I'm not gonna completely I myself am not gonna blame them completely for it because I probably should have just closed the audio and then, or I could have not even like put pause on the audio. I could have just closed the laptop because when the thing closes down, the thing will shut down on its own. So that would have been fine too because we wouldn't have lost the audio. But yeah, we'll do it. If anything, Lewis was probably wanted to be on that episode anyway. So we'll let Lewis do his show.
What show? It's another show, right? Right? It's another show?
What do you mean?
It's nothing like Steins Gate or anything?
No. As another form of apology, I will push back the Steins Gate episode. Unless he chooses Steins Gate, then you're kind of in trouble. But yeah, no, there's nothing I can do about that. No, I'm going to text him today, say, since you're coming back, what do you want to do? And then next week we'll do Golden Time again. And then after that, I kind of want to finally go into Godzilla month because we're going to be a few weeks into August by that point. And in the summer, I always liked to do a very specific month of something we normally wouldn't do. Like when Animazing started, we said we weren't going to do a lot of shonen. So in summer, we did like an entire shonen month. And then I know we did something in summer. I don't know. I forget what we did in summer, but I know we did something very specific in summer. But we did a lot of good stuff. No, in summer we just did we kind of did a lot of the shows that were just ending.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was thinking of Moe month.
Was that you guys though?
I'm not sure.
No, Moe month was. I want to do a Moe month too. But no, Moe month was with him, and Oscar hated it. I know Oscar hated it because it was just like half of the shows there was stuff he really wanted to do, and then the other half was just stuff that was like, what the fuck. I want to do a Moe month too because I just keep finding more shows that's like, what the fuck is wrong with Japan? Anyway, guys, today's show. Basically, the whole plan is I really want to do a Godzilla month, and I'm kind of glad Ben wanted to do this episode now because I feel like it would have just been 2 regular Godzilla movies, which obviously would have been the first one and Shin Godzilla, and then the 2 anime movies. So I think having the 2 weeks open, we could kind of bring in the other, probably more American known Godzilla movies, like where he's actually fighting monsters and not being the monster himself.
So I have to watch the 2014 for the third time again?
No. We're gonna do Japanese.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I like that 2014 Godzilla movie, but you know, you guys, I think there's enough people who know that I'm indifferent in that movie. Like me and you were just talking about how like I think the action for the little bit we see is good.
Yeah.
You know, it could be better. I mean, you see the Godzilla movies and he's doing like wrestling moves and stuff, sliding on his tail and kicking monsters in the face and stuff. There's even been like some Godzilla, there's been multiple movies that have had alternate Godzilla kills in it. Like in a movie I kind of want to cover, Godzilla vs. Destroyer, Godzilla's dying of basically nuclear radiation, of over-nuclear radiation.
Oh, okay.
And he kind of goes into this state that he went into at the end of City at the Edge of Battle. So his fist is like heating up and he just starts punching Destroyer in the face until the face melts off. But we get a completely different kill from that. From the main movie itself, that's also equally just as good. But yeah, we're kind of like going to try to stick to Japan. I have to put fucking Shin Godzilla in there because that is without a doubt my favorite Godzilla movie.
And Michael's favorite movie.
Michael's favorite movie too. Telling people not to watch it even though he hasn't even seen it, that dick. Also, doesn't like these either.
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah. Anyway, today we are going to be talking about not one, but 2 of the Godzilla Netflix movies that we have the second movie coming out in November, so chances are we're probably going to get it in...
People speculate January or February.
Yeah, I'm really hoping for January, given who is hopefully going to show up in this movie. Yeah.
That certain monster.
Yeah, who is totally not going to be... Well, 2 monsters who are totally may or may not be in the new Godzilla movie coming out in America.
Something about that egg.
Yeah, that was the thing. I'm like, egg. And then we'll talk about it. But yes, let us talk about Godzilla. Let us go somewhat fast through Godzilla, Planet of the Monsters. Because not a lot happens in this movie.
Not really.
Yeah.
Just Godzilla-looking pterodactyls, Godzilla-looking worms, and Godzilla himself.
Yeah. With actually, and a lot of bickering, and a lot of like, we can't trust this guy because he's a loose cannon. Okay, he's our captain now.
And obvious death flags.
A lot of obvious death flags. On Netflix. Because fuck you, America, for making the biggest Godzilla. Oh, I guess they don't have an English one.
Unless you go to Netflix for that trailer.
Maybe. Because they released one for the second movie that was in Japanese, and that was the American website. Wait, what's all this? Oh. At least they didn't put these up during the trailer. I hate when they do that now. Like through the last bits of the trailer, they'll put those like annotations. It's like, no. Okay, so Godzilla, Planet of the Monsters is a 2017 Godzilla film animated by Polygon Studios. Surprisingly, the first anime Godzilla, not the first animated Godzilla. Surprisingly, we beat them to that. Yeah.
What do you mean?
Hanna-Barbera had a Godzilla cartoon, and it was kind of like, if I remember from what I saw, it was just a group of explorers who would actually, we had two before they even made an anime Godzilla. Yeah, where, like, in order to call it Godzilla, they would, like, shoot a missile into the ocean and Godzilla wouldn't show up. But since this was Hanna-Barbera, they also needed a cute cartoon animal. So they had Godzuki, which was Godzilla's son that had, like, little squirrel wings and would fly around and stuff.
Oh, no.
Yeah, the kaiju fandom hate him. They do not talk about Godzuki, and they're like, the fucking Hanna-Barbera cartoon's not canon, and it's like, no one's saying it's canon, okay? But we're just saying it happens, and you guys, very much just like the 1998 movie, need to acknowledge that it happened. But here it is. Look at him. He's totally not there just to sell toys.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
But isn't it the first animated film? Or no?
Yeah, technically it's the first animated film of Godzilla. And then, of course, after the 1998 movie, we had a not that terrible television series based off that particular Godzilla. It wasn't great, but it was like, compared to the movie, this is actually pretty fun. And you do see him fight other mutated animals, and at one point, their version of Mechagodzilla is basically the Godzilla that died in the movie that was turned into a robot by aliens who show up at one point. But yeah, it was pretty good, you know, not perfect, but it was good. But this is Japan finally, like, well, between 2014 to now, we definitely did a Godzilla film that blew that 2014 movie out of the water because it took Godzilla down to its 1954 roots, along with also bashing the Japanese government for the whole earthquake fiasco back in 2018. Really curious to what you're gonna think about that, because that movie is not weird in the Godzilla sense, but kind of like, it's more of a political drama than a Godzilla movie, but when the Godzilla stuff kicks in, it's still pretty fun. So I guess now all we need to do is finally make a goddamn anime, not directed, but written by Gen Urobuchi, Gen the Butcher.
That would make sense.
Yeah, given the second movie and how that went down, asshole. I didn't even like it all that much, and this movie, I'm like, no! Gen Urobuchi does some butchering in this movie. But basically, this takes place in Earth. Basically, the movie starts off in 2016, if I'm right, where monsters have come down from the city and just started annihilating shit. And they were getting attacked one after the other, and so on and so forth.
But was Godzilla attacking multiple cities?
Godzilla basically came after all those monsters did and started taking them down.
Oh.
And then once he was done, just like typical Godzilla fashion, realized, yes, the monster's gone and my territory is safe. Hello, people. And just started torching the city. And yeah, he was attacking multiple cities.
Looks so slow.
Right? Well, yeah, I have a feeling that might have been a Polygon thing. Well, no, he walks slow, but he's also amphibious. He can swim pretty fast.
Huh.
Yeah. So he can basically the world leaders do everything in their power to stop him, going as far as launching like 150 something nukes at him. Basically, all the nukes in the world.
But it still didn't do a single dent on him.
Yeah, it didn't do shit. And so they're like, well, so the next thing that happened is these aliens showed up. The Zephys or the Exifs.
The Exifs, yeah.
Yeah. And they're like, yo, our planet got destroyed by aliens. Our planet got destroyed by a giant monster. So we need some, like, we need a planet to rest in. And if I'm right, they didn't really do anything to help. It was the Besai. I forget what the other race was.
Yeah, it was the other race that did most of the work, especially with their technology.
Yeah, they're like, look, we want to come to your planet.
Because our planet was devoured by a black hole.
Yeah, and we will even do you a solid by getting rid of your biggest threat. So we're going to build a Mecha Godzilla to combat this Godzilla, and they weren't able to power it. They weren't able to get it started. So they had to leave, and using...
they had to leave because Godzilla was attacking that facility.
Yeah. Yeah, so he was attacking that facility, and we actually see how much damage he did. But they have to leave that facility and go off to space.
Yeah.
So we focus on our main character, it's Haru because if I'm right.
Haru, yeah.
Yeah, Haru Oi.
Haru Oi.
Yeah, they're in the first movie. Did you catch that?
And they're
like not even in the credits scene. They're in the middle of the first movie.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't notice until watching it yesterday. But there's a part where they show something watching them, like a back of a head of something, and then it just runs off. And if you pause it, you see the little like mask on the side of its face. But it's like...
Which part was that?
It was when they first got to the planet and they were like...
is that when they land or...?
It was when they were landing and looking at the jungle and one guy tries to cut a tree down but it cuts through the knife.
Yeah.
The scene before that, you see that something was watching them.
Oh.
And yeah, it isn't until the very end of the very, very end, like post-credits thing, you see what it was.
Yeah.
But you guys will find out because we all know, this show does contain spoilers, and basically what your job is to do is, if we announce it at the end of the last episode, go watch it, or if you see this pop up on YouTube, don't click on it and just watch it and then come back. But sometimes we won't even spoil it because Lewis, I noticed, doesn't really like that.
What?
He likes to keep things for the people to
oh yeah.
Yeah. But hey, it was him. He was the one that wanted to cover all of Magical Girl. I was willing to make it stop, but we ended up going through all of it. But
yeah, the way you did it without me.
Not out without you. You're just really quiet. I'm joking. Yeah, I know. It's fine. We do cancel shows unless it's stuff Lewis wanted to do. But we do cancel shows when one of us can't make it. Unless it's this case where Lewis kind of gave us his blessing to go on. But yeah, what ends up happening is they had to leave the facility, flee into space, while our main character witnessed the death of his parents when the airport that was...
when Godzilla fires at the loading ship, I think, that's about to head up to space. Once it's destroyed, the blast that came from that outcome blew the cars away.
Yeah. Godzilla's such a dick in this movie. But the thing I always like that the Japanese are always able to get is the Japanese know, except for a couple of directors, the Japanese know that Godzilla is he's a god, he's a titan for the most part, but he's also like a giant animal. And a giant animal will basically just do whatever it wants. Godzilla may not be completely malicious, he just sees that he's the apex predator and he sees something beneath him. And that was the thing that was really cool, is how you're just seeing Godzilla basically be like, oh look, there's something that I do not recognize, but I'm taking it as a threat, let me blow it up. And basically 20 years later, they're all in ships. They're all in space in a massive space station that, if we're right, the Exif created, because it was being controlled by their Quody Fingers god.
Oh yeah.
But it's really some like super hyper intelligent AI. But they've spent the best of 20 years looking for a planet to live on, but they've had no hope for it. And in the very beginning of the movie, we see a group of old people being stuffed in the ship under the guise of we're sending you guys down there, and you're going to, basically go see if that planet is livable.
Oh yeah, did they? Okay, continue.
Yeah, but we also see that our main character Haruo Sakaki is basically strapped a shit ton of bombs onto himself and says, if you guys do not unload these people from the ships, I will basically blow up the entire fucking hangar with me and the people in it, which not the best idea when you're trying to save people's lives.
Right?
Right?
Like, you're saving them from getting blown up, but you're helping by getting yourself and them blown up.
Yeah. Well, what happened is he thought, they're just gonna stuff them in some like uninhabited planet, and they're gonna die because they don't have supplies. And basically, his grandfather talks him out of it, tells him to get off the ship. They arrest him, lock him in the cell, and he basically watches as the ship flies down and
it's dark. Ooh.
It is. Ooh. Man. Oh, there we go. It picked you getting up. But yeah, basically he alright, sorry.
Okay, so he basically witnessed the elderly people that was in the ship getting blown up as they were trying to descend to that uninhabitable planet.
Yes, thank you. Because tongue-tied, man.
Yes, brain fart.
Brain fart. But yeah, so he is basically locked up for treason, and from what I completely forgot, was never going to be let out until his friend...
Medfees, I think.
Oh, okay, yeah. His friend, who is actually one of the X-Sif's species, he is basically, a missionary. He's the priest that he...
converts people to their religion.
Yeah. And also he's leaking high-level information to Sakaki, because Sakaki is basically our Eren Yeager. He wants to wipe out Godzilla, so... He's basically giving him these top secret information about Godzilla, and Sakaki, for the betterment of 20 years, has been putting it together into how we can kill Godzilla. And from what I remember, the first time I saw it, I thought it was Sakaki who leaked this article that got sent out, but it was actually Medface.
I thought it was Sakaki that leaked it out.
I think what happened is he wrote it.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that Medfees gave him the data and he wrote it.
Yeah. No, that's what I think. He wrote it, but I think...
yeah, that makes sense. That I think the conversation with him and Gagori?
Yeah. I think the name is like... It, not to be mean, but it sounds like an Armenian last name, because I knew a go with that last name, but like Basagarian or something?
Yeah.
But,
I keep thinking of Gamagori.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't help the fact that they look exactly like them, but we do get a really interesting scene, and again, this is kind of Geno Nobuchi doing his typical, this horrible thing happened, but think about this horrible thing could have happened, which the X-Sif's Mephis is having a talk with this other alien species, and it's just like, do you feel a little disappointed that Godzilla basically kept your people from brainwashing the Earth into your religion? And then it's like, yeah, are you sad that you weren't able to get your Mechagodzilla up? Because what happened if your Mechagodzilla worked, who would you have turned on next? So basically those two aliens would have turned on the planet as soon as Godzilla was taken out. So thank God.
Well, at least in some way, Godzilla helped the humans.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not like...
I mean, the acts of converting them to their religion isn't that bad.
Yeah, but they were calling it, brainwashing?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. If it's just, only a few people... If it's just, a Scientology thing, then fine.
Yeah.
But if it was just, magical powers, then that would be a big issue. But
I mean, if it was magical powers, the whole ship should have been converted at
that's
at
what
some
I was
point.
thinking. Yeah, but I was always thinking maybe they had the power to do that, but they were just like, There's something way bigger going on here. We can't think of that right now. And hell, even like the aliens, who, if I'm right, the other aliens, if they're right, this is their technology they're using.
It is.
They could have easily just kicked the humans out and left the planet, but
is it their technology?
It's a mixture of human. It's all three of them.
Okay.
Because they do mention that they created the walker tanks, more or less created the walker tanks, and again, it's an interesting thing knowing that these aliens would have basically turned on them all, and thank God to Godzilla, kind of saving the day without really saving the day. But the only aliens that I know for sure, unless something happens in the third movie, who aren't really a threat, is the Exif.
I mean, they haven't done anything so far.
Yeah,
which would kind of be suspicious towards the third movie.
Yeah, and also given the fact that they mirror the humans almost beat for beat, because another unnamed creature who totally is not an icon in the kaiju universe wiped out their planet and they became refugees.
Yeah.
So it was really, it actually was really interesting seeing this happen. But there is, after hearing that line, Odabuchi kind of creates this level of doubt of what's going to happen once they do kill Godzilla and take the planet back. And given thanks to the second movie, we don't have to worry about one race anymore.
Yeah.
Unless something happens in the third movie.
Some of them are still alive, though.
Yeah.
One of the elders is part of that race.
Yeah, you're right. But basically, the two of the lead commanders completely gone.
Yeah.
And
the majority of those of the race was gone.
Yeah. So what ends up happening is an essay is leaked, basically detailing in very excruciating detail, can actually showing other people, this is how we kill Godzilla. This is how we do it. This is what Godzilla has. We have to find a way to take advantage of this. There's a weapon that I designed that can kill him, and this actually makes the council, the elder community, committee basically be like, we might need to go down there because we do have a habitable planet, which is Earth.
Yeah.
But we do have something down there, even if it is still alive, that is going to keep us from coming back.
The only problem with the plan is that they had to figure out the weak point of Godzilla, like where the shield generates in the first place.
And basically, what ends up happening is they get sent down. Mephis basically, what was it again? He traded the information and the identity of the writer for the pardon of Sakaki.
Yeah.
So they sent Sakaki down basically because, he was the one who came up with the idea, you're gonna need him, but he was still a war criminal. So they had him handcuffed, and his best friend, who, there are 3 characters who looked exactly like that guy.
Oh, so Leitner, I think was the name. Yeah.
Yeah. So when he, bites the bullet, it's kind of like, I forgot he died in the first movie because there's 2 characters who look exactly like him in the second movie.
They also introduced some whiny ass character.
What, Yukiko?
No, in the second movie. They introduced some whiny male character.
He's in the first movie, too, and he's not that bad.
He did nothing, though.
Yeah, he did nothing, and in the second movie, they turned him into the horror movie brat, which is like, we gotta get out of here, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, so they send down the planet, and we also find out that Sakaki had a childhood friend who is totally not voiced by the voice actor that I hate because I hear her all the time. I bet she is a super sweet girl. I've heard people...
In the anime Cells at Work, she's the main character.
I ain't watching it.
Red Cell is best wife.
I'm not watching it.
Watch it.
No, fuck that. I'll wait for the possibly never dub because it is Aniplex. So there's a 50-50 chance it might not get dubbed at all. So, I might not watch it at all. Fuck that.
It's getting popular, so they might dub it.
I know. They're getting Promised Neverland. I forgot to say that, but yeah, they're getting it. So good dub. No, I'm gonna watch it. No, my main issue with Miss Hanazawa is the fact that she ruined the character in Parasite because they wanted to make her more like the characters that she typically plays.
Oh, like Sweet Innocent, I think.
Sweet and Innocent, yeah. Because like the character in Parasite, you know, she was kind of sassy, but in the show itself, she's super sassy. Like, she feels like an actual teenage girl and not Onodera. Live action movie! Did you know that?
What?
Live action Nisekoi movie.
Oh yeah, I was aware of that.
What the fuck? No Sugumi. How dare they not show Sugumi? They better not have gotten rid of her.
They better make Onodera win. I don't care. Stay out from the manga.
A lot of people are like really mad that they showed a trailer and they only showed like 2 out of the 4 main girls.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
So, anyway, is at least Onodera showed up in the trailer?
No. They're mad because they didn't show her yet.
Onodera?
Yeah, they haven't showed her in
Screw this
costume.
movie. Screw this movie.
That she's gonna be in it. They just haven't showed her.
You just know it's gonna be main focused on Shitoge.
Shitoge? Yeah, so Chitoge and Taco Banana, they were showed. Taco Banana looks super cute in live action.
Tachibana.
Taco Banana.
No, Tachibana.
Taco Banana.
Tachibana's
Anyway,
waifu too.
she's cute. I just kind of hate the whole I'm in love with an idea but not in love with the character quotey fingers. But anyway, you know, that's a talk for another day, for the eventual never episode of the 2nd season that we'll never do because
No. It's just nothing but fillers.
It's nothing but fillers. 3 episodes of an actual arc and then nothing but fillers. So they go down to the planet and they find out that so he has a childhood friend who for the most part is actually kind of bland. She's kind of like female character.
Yeah.
If I'm right, I could be horrifically wrong. I'll look it up later. But she's also voiced by one of my favorite voice actresses in the dub, Christina V, who just blew up and is now almost a bunch of every major female character in anime now. When will Kira get her time?
Never.
No. Also, apparently the dub for Infinite Burst came out and...
Infinite Burst? Oh, Excel World?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, but it's not online yet. It premiered at Anime Expo.
Okay, I gotta check.
Kira Buckland, who is in contact with my friend, did not let us know because if you remember our Kira Buckland episode, I was very curious to if we were ever going to get a dub. And she couldn't say anything at the time and said no. And it would have been very nice if I would have known it was at Anime Expo, just saying. But you know what, Kira? It's fine, it's not your fault. We want you to come back for an episode. Please. We haven't contacted her. It's not like she's ignoring us. We just haven't contacted her. So they go down to the planet and they find out it's a shithole. I mean, beautiful.
It's beautiful. And then the first thing that happens is that they got the landing ship gets a huge bump all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Wondering like if they hit something.
Yeah. Basically, they bomb the planet to make a proper landing area.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, you just hear a and it's like, whoa, what was that? And it's like, oh, I think some debris hit us. And then you see it and it's just like, it looks like something just like scraped on the side of it. Like it's not even like a claw mark. It's just like a big chunk of the ship got scraped off. And it's just like, should we worry about what's on this planet? And it's like, well, just keep your guard up. So they walk in and they more or less find that Earth is kind of the same. Trees are fucking huge. There are certain things that are kind of weird about it. There's a part where they try to cut a branch off a tree.
Yeah.
And not even a branch, it's a leaf. And they cut it with a knife, and it cuts the knife in half. Which they're like, fuck, this thing is harder than the knife.
Which makes you wonder if you can actually hunt meat in there.
Probably.
I'm thinking.
Were there any other animals besides the pterodactyl things? No,
just those the pterodactyls, those worm-like things.
Yeah.
But there isn't anything that has any meat in there.
Yeah. Kind of interesting what the other things on the planet are eating. I don't know if they ever talked about that.
I mean, you saw the pterodactyl-like creatures eating the worms, but that's it.
Yeah. Maybe they could eat those. But, yeah. Things got bad on the planet because what ends up happening next is while they're unloading everything and waiting for Godzilla to show up because they're within his walking pattern or something like that. They're within the area where they picked up Godzilla.
Yeah.
And it was really cool when you see that scene where the drone is basically scanning the area and they don't see anything. All they hear is the iconic roar and something taking the thing down. And I love that thing where it's all like, wow, what was that? Was it like wind or lightning? And it's all like, yeah, and one guy's like, we're never going. How can you fucking forget that roar? It's like, lightning? Excuse me, what lightning creates like a 500 level energy rating? What the fuck? Don't be stupid. We all know what it is.
Zeus.
Yeah, it's Zeus. But they get... The people on ground, though, they get attacked by evil pterodactyl creatures that just start eating people. Their guns kind of work on it, but it takes like
they just bump them down. But yeah, it does take a while to actually kill them.
Yeah, and the things are just eating people. They're destroying like the tanks and just creating a bunch of problems for them. And within that one basically minute and a half scene, they were able to wipe out, I think they said
They said, I think 12 or 13 dead and 45 critically injured.
Yeah. And almost all of their equipment, about like 70% of their equipment in that specific company was wiped out. So it was like, oh, great. It's not like we have to worry about Godzilla, but now we have to worry about these fucking things running around the planet. But what ends up happening next is they bicker a little bit and Godzilla shows up. And the thing, I'm still kind of like, I have problems with this Godzilla, not mainly in its design at all. I like the fact that, remember, Godzilla is a nuclear radiated beast.
Yeah. And
it only makes sense that his entire body is just covered in tumors that also work as muscle for him. So he looks very tumorous. He looks very hazardous, and
those were tumors. I thought they were muscles.
Well, yeah, but they're tumors that are like growing within his muscles, which is why he's so freakishly strong, not just because he's big. But I really do like the design for this. What did you think of the design?
This is for Godzilla, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like I can't say an actual Godzilla, but it does represent Godzilla himself.
Yeah, it looks like it. The thing I thought was interesting is Shin Godzilla feels more like an updated version to the original Japanese Godzilla we know.
Yeah.
And this one felt more like a weird updated version that was what was it again? To the 2014 movie.
Really?
It looked, because it's also kind of fat.
Okay, I mean, yeah.
Yeah. It just looked like some weird updated version, but there's something about the Japanese that their whole thing with how they want to do their Godzillas now is they want the faces to look terrifying. And when you see Shin Godzilla's face, that thing doesn't really have eyelids, and its eyeballs look like it's bulging out of its head, and it can't even move its mouth, really. Yeah, you're going to see basically how it opens its mouth when we do get to that movie. And in this one, the mouth looks normal, the face looks normal, but it has these dead, beady eyes that just, when it looks at directly at the camera, there's just something really unnerving.
Yeah.
And my main issue with this is the fact that the Godzillas in all of the movies, they move with such character that this Godzilla, mainly for the most part, is stationary during most of its attacks. And when it moves, it's very slow with very little animation, very little animated detail to its movement. That's my main issue with this Godzilla. Overall, when this Godzilla throws down, it throws down. And it has powers that I'm like, since when can he do that?
The tail whip laser?
Yeah, what the fuck was that?
What the hell? I forgot about that. Like, oh shit.
Me too. I'm so glad I saw this again because I forgot about the fucking tail whip laser that I'm like, when can he fucking do that? Okay.
And they still wonder how the hell that works.
Yeah.
Cause he's just slashing wind, but
But it like blows up and lights things on fire and stuff. Yeah, it's insane, and they try to get out of its way, but again, this Godzilla, I think, was able to take down 3 carrier ships before they all got away.
oh yeah.
And Sakaki was basically like, you know what, fuck this, we need to figure out its weak point, so I'm gonna get on this badass little speeder bike, little flying speeder bike, and like basically try to beat down its armor. And
to sacrifice himself to getting like extra details on how to take on
where exactly the EMP energy core is. And so he's firing at it, and
he's about to attempt to dive.
Yeah, and then elsewhere, the typical
the commander Lietvan.
Yeah, who is real quick, who is also serving as like the typical horror movie like asshole, like the alpha male kind of.
Except he knows like when to leave.
Yeah,
because he does know that he had a feeling that we can't win this fight, and he was right until like he sacrificed himself getting the information for them.
Yeah, and but what I like about that scene is they make you think he's gonna flee.
Oh yeah, they do.
Yeah, because he's like, "What are you doing?" They're in this tank thing, and they're like, "What are you doing? Get this thing moving!" And it's like, "But Sakaki," and he pulls out a gun, and he's like, "Exactly. So get the fuck out of the cockpit." So right when Sakaki's about to nosedive, Godzilla just gets pelted with fucking like explosives and stuff, and you see that it was
Lietvan.
Yeah, it was Lietvan who was basically helping him take down the shield. And Godzilla looks at him, and we all know what was happening. And Lietvan's just like, to hell with this planet, and just blows up because fucking Godzilla. And they were able to take down the shield, and they saw that, yes, the energy core is within his dorsal fin.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. And they're able to take it down. And start to think of another plan of attack, which is we have to take down the shielding, and then the tanks are going to jump on its back and place the EMP spears. So that shit happens. And how about you explain what happens, because I actually want to bring that up.
Okay, and once they use the EMP, was it spears or harpoons?
They were a type of harpoon.
Okay, some sort of type of harpoon. Once they pelted all like multiple harpoons, EMP harpoons down the dorsal fin, so everyone was able to immediately get out except for Sakaki, who barely managed to escape. And once Godzilla was about to fire at Sakaki, he just immediately explodes.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but we also get, here's the thing. CG anime gets a really bad rap.
Yeah, they do.
They're like
like Berserk, yay!
Yeah, Berserk with its Guts is walking away, but when you look at human anatomy, he's only moving from his kneecaps and not his upper legs. But yeah, we do have terrible animated stuff like Kimono Friends, but Kimono Friends bounciness kind of works.
Yeah.
The thing is,
plus it's friendly.
Yeah, and we do have Berserk. We do have, as much as I do love the movie, Expelled from Paradise has moments where the frames drop horrifically.
I still have yet to see that.
Yeah, but we do have plenty of examples of terrible CGI in anime, especially when they try to implement them in 2D anime. Like, what was that? What was the Future Diary?
Oh, Big Order.
Big Order. That looked terrible for the most part.
Yeah.
There were parts that looked fine, but there were parts that were like, oh my god, stop. It sticks out like a sore thumb. Or Handshakers 2. I don't know if you heard of that.
Oh, okay, Handshakers, yes.
Yeah, but that was the one where they...
I wanted to watch it, but it was CGI, but
it was like 2D, but when the fights happened, there was like CGI chains.
I couldn't get into it.
Yeah, it looked awful. This movie, though, Polygon know that we can't make it look perfect because we're still working on the technology, but 2D anime and even implementing 2D in certain 3D and certain 2D anime does help with more dynamic shots. And it really sucks that they do not have the entire scene with them basically going after Godzilla. With them basically going after Godzilla, and you're watching them fly like this thing right here. They're flying around him, and it is showing for some pretty incredible dynamic shots.
Yeah.
And the scene where the bikes are just flying around him and missing his spikes that are trying to hit them left and right. Well, like this scene right here would have taken forever for them to do in 2D. And I do appreciate that they were able to give us some shots like that. When we eventually do Ajin, which I am hoping will be soon, you're going to see how amazing some of the close combat fights are.
And then we'll review dog fight, food fight. Food fight.
No!
Food fight!
Stop!
Best
It's
CGI.
not even an anime! Even though, given we've broken that rule a few times already. No, we're not doing food fight. Look that up, people. It's horrifying.
But it's best. It has Charlie Sheen.
No. Anyway, let's. Yeah, they're able to blow him up, and they're like, "Yeah, we beat him, woo!" But then,
But it doesn't feel right, especially when the professor gives Sakaki a hypothesis that this could be an offspring from the original Godzilla.
yeah, and who's to say that there's not another one out there?
And ironically, just pops up
Yeah.
in the same place.
Yes, almost as if he was waiting for him. Did someone say, the Godzilla? And they're looking at basically, oh God, we're getting another energy reading, but this time it's saying it's this level. And they're like, what the fuck?
And it's the height's like 300 meters.
Yeah, and also, we forgot to mention, this was 20,000 years into the future.
They assume it was 1,000 years since they left. Then when they actually
10.
scanned it, it was 10,000. And when they analyzed the planets in Earth, then they estimate that it was roughly 20,000.
Yeah, and the reason for that is because of all the light speed jumping they had to do around the world.
Yeah.
So they were basically using wormholes, which again, people have that whole time travel theory with them. And basically they shot themselves 20 years into the future. So the Godzilla that they fought was more or less baby Godzilla. And the Godzilla that is showing up like right now, that is basically, goddamn, it was a mountain they were fighting on the whole time. And this is basically the original Godzilla, presuming that the Godzilla that showed up back in the 50s, that destroyed the planet, and had 20,000 years to grow into something that is, I think according to the creators, is about 300 meters?
Yeah.
Yeah, which again is, once again, Japan having a dick measuring contest with each other, because like, Godzilla 2014 was like, this is the biggest Godzilla ever. And then... and then the 2016 movie's like, haha, we got this, fam. This is the biggest Godzilla ever. And then Polygon's like, no, fuck you. No one's gonna be stupid enough to make a Godzilla bigger than this. And we just saw that this Godzilla is so fucking big that his roar is basically a second atomic breath.
Oh, look, it's the tail whip. It's the infamous tail whip.
Not the tail whip again. Pew!
Like, what the fuck?
No! That's too OP.
Well, it's too OP, but then you got the second movie and they made him even more OP.
God damn it. That ending still pissed me off. It's just like, yeah, we killed him. And it's just like, no, just kidding. I'm going to convert your EMP into heat and become just as hot as the sun. But we will get to that. What was that called? City? There we go. City at the Edge of Battle.
I still don't like how they named that place. Oh, so this is Mechagodzilla City.
Yeah.
Couldn't you come up with something more original than that?
Yeah. we won't go too far into it because we are kind of on a time thing. But yeah, basically, we're moving on to the second movie, which just came out last week and apparently got delayed for the Netflix release.
It did?
Yeah.
So will it come out a week early, or?
I'm presuming, I wasn't able to finish it, but presuming it was supposed to come out a few weeks before the initial release date we got.
Oh.
So meaning Netflix is trying their best to get these out fast, which I really do appreciate that because
it's either that or they were just saving this up for the Anime Expo.
Yeah, I think they needed something that was going to be released soon because a lot of the stuff they announced over there was like 2019. We're getting an Ultraman anime, 2019. We're getting a this anime, 2019. We're getting an anime created by one of the Boondocks animators. We don't know when that's coming out.
Really? What?
Yeah, it looks really good. But yeah, we have no idea when that's coming out. The Castlevania anime, more cartoon though. The Castlevania cartoon's coming out, and it looks like dog shit. But you know, people got excited anyway, even though, again, Castlevania show short-termed, fantastic writing, horrible animation. Holy fucking shit! And they had like more than a year to work on the animation, and it still looked terrible. Anyway, yeah, let's get down to it. Godzilla City on the Edge of Battle. So this takes up immediately after the events of Godzilla 2. Basically, you want to take it from here, Ben? I've been talking.
So at the start of the second movie, you see Sakaki waking up in some indoor type house without his suit or anything, and also had some weird powder-like substance spreading all over his body. And after that, he tried to get any communication from anyone that's still out there, but that fails, and they can't since he can't get any service from there. So as soon as he's about to leave, that's when he stumbled upon someone that saved him from that incident with the real Godzilla.
Yeah. Which I forget the species they were called. I'll look it up.
What? I know it starts with an H.
Yeah. But they basically what ended up happening at the post-credit scenes of the last film, it is shown that Sakaki survived the Godzilla attack, but there was some mysterious little girl taking care of him. Well, presumably little girl because she wanted the D.
She was waifu.
Both of them were, especially the one that glared a lot.
Glare at me, mommy.
No. Sakaki. So.
I want to say Hokuta. Hokuta? Yeah.
Miyana. Yeah.
Her name is Miyana, but that's not the race that they call themselves.
Oh, the Hutoa.
Hutoa, okay.
Yeah. So he runs after her trying to get answers and runs into the jungle because again the girl was taking care of him, but she was
scared.
Yeah. But then also at the same time
he receives transmission from someone, from his childhood friend.
Yeah, saying that they're over here and they're currently being attacked by another one of them. A girl almost identical to the one we met. And she's firing arrows at them that are actually piercing through this armor they have.
Yeah.
And they have no idea how or why. And, they shoot at her, and right when they're about to, find her, they run into Sakaki, who just happens to have Miyana with him. And they're like, hey, she shot at us. And it's like, she was with me the whole time. And then they're like, oh, wait, there's a girl who looks exactly like her. So
and then you have the whole Hotoa squad, I guess.
Yeah, tribe.
Yeah, tribe. I mean,
yeah, they show up, but they're kind of like natives in this.
Yeah,
and they believe at first that they're humans, they're surviving humans, and they're like, how the fuck was this possible? I thought we evacuated anyone, and if anyone who wasn't evacuated, we presume died. But they go in and they do kind of notice something peculiar about them, and that is they have these weird markings on their skin that may or may not be powder. That they're not even sure is powder.
Didn't they say it was on scales or something? Yeah.
It was. They thought it was like a powder on them, but they're like it's a type of scale, and I'm guessing, presumably, given the race they might be connected to, I'm guessing it might have been fur.
So when I waifued her, I'm a furry lover now?
I guess, kind of.
God damn it!
Can an insect be considered a fur? If I do a show with Connor this week, which I'm very much hoping I can, I'll ask him. But yeah, because almost immediately they're like, I don't think they're human. I think they might be a descendant of a type of insect, which, you know what that means, people. Woo! But what? You're still laughing at the fact that you might be a furry?
No. I don't want this to happen.
Embrace it, Ben.
No.
Embrace it.
No.
You are a furry.
No.
I'm going to get this ready because given the time, we might actually have time to do this.
Ooh.
I wanted to have a trailer talk, but I'm like, we might need to just squeeze it together. Anyway. Furry Ben. But they also find out that another company, the other remaining members, were abducted by this tribe who spent the entire time healing their wounds.
Yeah.
And they go meet with the elders who are not talking. They don't talk at all. And the two little girls walk up to this rock, put their hands on it, and suddenly are fully communicating with them. And it is immediately already showing you what is going on here, where they're saying, we are the descendants of the holy egg. We are using the power of the egg to communicate to you. And
you know, when I first watched it, I thought that was just a stone until I rewatched it and heard egg. I'm like,
yeah,
egg.
Yeah.
So that means there's a monster inside there.
Yeah, there's a very totally not iconic monster in there. I don't know why I'm doing that today. What is with me? Anyway, I'll stop being sarcastic.
It's not the same one that they mention in the end, is it?
No. Look at the species they are.
Yeah.
And then think of what that thing is.
I don't know.
The insects, they have little feathers on their head.
So it's a flying type of monster then. I don't know much about it.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, it may or may not be that creature. I'm very much hoping it is, especially since now American audiences are going to be exposed to her pretty soon. But even the whole thing with the two fairy girls, the two Hatoa girls, that is a very big thing with that particular creature is she has always had these two girls who would communicate for her, because the thing with this creature is she is supposed to be the actual defender of the planet.
So that creature is the good person.
That is 100% good. It was actually the real guardian of the planet until we accidentally created Godzilla and he became the defender of the planet. And they've had many times where they fought and
they did mention something like that.
Yeah, and multiple times where they've had to team up to take down the bigger threat. Multiple times. But yeah, and what's interesting is this egg, they're using the egg to talk to them, and he's all like, they're speaking our language. Yeah, they're speaking in the dub, they're saying human language.
Yeah.
Because they can't say it's Japanese.
I mean, they could at least said it's English.
Yeah, that would have been fine, because like, I would imagine with all of these races together, that would have been the dominant language.
Yeah.
No offense to the Japanese people. But they're like, but then one of the aliens are like, no, I'm hearing my people's tongue. So it's definitely just transmitting the message on a wide scale, which is already like, wow, that's amazing that this egg is able to do that. So basically they tell them, look, we are not a threat to you. We are sorry that we bombed your land, but we are trying to take down Godzilla, which to them is the devil.
Yeah. I just love the reaction when they say Godzilla. Godzilla.
Yeah. Godzilla. Oh no! And it's just like, yeah, to them it's the devil, and they're like, we need to go to this area, get some supplies, and we're going to find a way to kill him. But of course, everyone in the Earth Company is just like, all of our supplies are wiped out. We have maybe 2 tanks and one ship, I think.
Yeah, one landing ship that who was commanding? The doctor?
Exifs and the doctor.
Yeah, okay.
Because they showed up and fought off one of the pterodactyl things with them. But there's no way we're going to find them. So they're like, okay, well, we're gonna go to this landing area because on the space station, they're thinking whether or not they should leave the planet. Because they're saying due to how big Godzilla is, he can see us from the atmosphere, and it's
a low probability, but yeah.
Was it a low probability? I thought it was high.
No, it's a low probability that Godzilla can see them. Yeah.
Oh, okay. But it is very much a possibility that it can hit them if he does shoot at them. Which, yeah, this Godzilla is fucking huge. And they're like, is this the Godzilla from this has to be a different Godzilla. They're like, no, readings are saying there's a 98% chance this is the Godzilla from 20,000 years ago. Meaning, yeah, Godzilla more or less is immortal and had 20,000 years to grow fucking humongous.
I'm just surprised that Godzilla didn't blow up the moon.
Right? No, I have a feeling anime is just like, we've blown up the moon so many times. Despite the fact, when you really think about it, if the moon got fucked up in any way, we would die.
Yeah.
So stop blowing up the moon, Japan.
Yeah, but if Godzilla's the one that's blowing it up instead of them, it would just end Godzilla already.
Exactly. So that means in order to kill Godzilla, destroy the moon.
But they just lose their planet with the...
And knowing Godzilla, he'll find a way to survive because they've gunned him down, blew him up, electrocuted him, shot him into a different dimension, and he's always found a way to come back. Actually, that's the reason why we have Space Godzilla, because they shot him with a black hole and some of that DNA went into another type of alien bacteria.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Japanese Godzilla films are fucking crazy, man. But, well, original Godzilla films, I shouldn't just say Japanese. But, yes, we do... They do end up walking, and the two fairy girls end up following them, which, again, super fucking adorable, the both of them.
Stop calling them furry girls.
Did I call them fairy? I'm saying fairy. Fairy, yeah.
Why are they called white?
I'm just referring to them as fairies because that's technically what that's technically what this creature is.
Okay.
Okay, sorry. Maybe I'll censor that out with the Godzilla scream. But yeah. Because when I don't know if you noticed, but when I told you the name, I actually stopped the audio.
Yeah, I know.
I'm like, I don't want people to know. I don't want no one getting mad at me. So yeah, we do. We then go on with basically them getting attacked by these worm creatures. After they have some fun with Yukiko's character. Totally not fetishy right there. And the two girls fire arrows at it, and
that kills the Godzilla like worms.
Yeah, like in one shot. And the alien species, the Besagians. I'll look up the name.
I think it's Besagians. I feel like it is.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to the wiki, but basically that specific race of aliens who created the Mechagodzilla are like, wait a second, that's nanite metal. Hey, can we look at your arrow? And when they're about to touch the tip, the girls pull the arrow away and say poison.
No poison.
Yeah, and they're like, poison, and they must have had first-hand experience of what happens when you touch it.
Yeah, they probably did.
So they're like, guys, we have a way to kill Godzilla. I guess what happened is when Godzilla destroyed the Mechagodzilla base, the head survived and spent that thousands of years constructing a city. Basically, making an entire factory specifically able to kill him. All we have to do is take care of that technology and boom. So they do. They go to that facility. It is a pretty big facility. And that is when the movie slows down a little bit to actually give us an actual relationship between Sakaki and Yukiko, because all we knew from the first movie was, I respect you, that's it.
I respect you, childhood friend. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, totally not going to try to fuck you later. But yeah, they do. And they actually have a kiss, which automatically I knew what was going to happen in the end happened.
Death flag.
Yeah, death flag. No one kisses in the middle of a movie and doesn't get killed. That would be way too happy. But yeah, fucking death flag up in here. And basically the aliens are like, okay, so we, with our 2-3 walker tanks, we were able to modify them and turn them into
vultures.
Yeah, which were basically the regular walker tank models that have fucking giant wings and better weapons on it. Which, fuck yeah, awesome. And they train Yukiko to fly them because she was basically the pilot. She was basically their entire vehicle operator.
Yeah.
A very talented one at that.
And plus, she knows, and she's really compatible with the vulture too.
Yeah, they made it specifically for her. They made 2. They made they made 3. One specifically compatible with her, like human DNA.
Yeah.
One compatible with human DNA. Well, no, both of them are compatible with human DNA. It's just that when you're compatible with them, you can more or less have better control and not have to do certain things, while the alien who piloted the other one had to do it completely manually.
Yeah.
So they have a plan that they're going to use Mechagodzilla to construct more harpoons, more powerful EMP harpoons to actually kill this Godzilla. And in the meantime, this Godzilla is basically following them.
Oh yeah, he's doing a search, like his usual daily routine.
Yeah,
pretty much.
And again, when a monster is doing its daily routine in a giant continent that is half the size of a continent, that's like a day stroll for him. He's just going on a stroll and may or may not kill some last remnants of humanity. But something weird starts to happen. The alien race start to change a little bit and start to act a little bit more hostile.
Yeah.
And at the same time, Sakaki is having these body pains that he feels like his body is trying to fight off a sickness, while other people are just not really having anything wrong with them, except for the people that these bug people have healed.
Yeah.
It is only them that are getting sick, but Yukiko's not feeling anything. One of his second in command isn't feeling anything. Exvis is, of course, not feeling anything either.
He was like away from that area. He was just in his own little cave. Yeah, Memphis. Yeah. He was in his own little cave.
Yeah, which the only thing he was doing is he wanted to basically have them repair. He wanted to use that technology to repair this rock that he had, which I'm still trying to figure out what exactly that rock is. And I do not. Someone gave me their theory, thinking that thing might be calling you know who. We don't know yet. Yeah.
How does that work?
We don't know because this specific creature, and we will tell you what that one is because the movie tells you.
Like in the end of the credits.
Yeah. This specific creature is basically like a Galactus type thing. And in other movies, he has had servants before, not like the other creature servants, but like people who have bred it and have a way of communicating with it. So I have a feeling that the Exodus might have done something worse. That maybe the creature that attacked them wasn't really a creature that found the planet, but maybe a vengeful god of the planet. Again, we still have no idea what's happening. But he tells them, him and Sakaki basically talk, and he's like, you guys were also attacked by a creature too. They're like, yeah, our planet was attacked by a very fierce creature that caused us to evacuate. but I'm going to tell you its name because we don't really take him lighthearted to just give him any name. We don't just say the name. He's basically Voldemort. And he's all like, but I'm going to tell you the name because when you're fighting Godzilla, always have this name at the corner of your eye, at the corner of your mind, that when things get terrifying, just say this name to you. And again, the Yuri fandom has kind of had fun with these two characters.
Oh, the Yaoi fandom.
Thank you. The Yaoi fandom has had fun with these two characters, and it was interesting seeing him lean in, and even Sakaki's like, what are you doing? But he's leaning in, and he whispers a name to him, and they're still like, okay, what is it?
What was it?
Yeah, but next thing we know, the alien race, they start going into these tubes in Mechagodzilla, and they're being covered by the nanite metal.
Yeah.
And the humans are freaking out, and they're running towards the two commanders, and they're like, what's going on here? And they're like, look, one of the biggest regrets you guys had was not being able to kill Godzilla. It was not being able to control him. I mean, you look at his power, and you don't want to find a way to control that? You don't want to find a way to become one with it? Because that was one thing they pointed out that this race wanted to do. They wanted to turn themselves into a monster.
Yeah.
And basically, he's like, the only way, what these people are doing is they are giving themselves to Mechagodzilla, and they are going to help us in the fight more than any of you guys can. So when when the actual Godzilla shows up, the fight begins. They all hop into the vultures, and they start leading on this attack where they're going to break away at the armor, lead them down this pathway where the harpoons will be able to kill them. The only thing is that this Godzilla's heat blast is fucking powerful.
What?
Like, the heat blast, not only does it hit a direct target, but it also bounces and hits another and splits off into different laser beams and then shoots other areas.
Yeah, it was only able to take down one facility, but that's it.
Yeah, that's all it needed. It took down half of a facility.
Yeah, but it didn't matter to them.
Yeah, and they're fighting and are able pretty fast. I'm actually really surprised. This is a lot faster than the fight in the first movie. They're able to actually hit it full on with the harpoons, and it's working. Godzilla's heat, just like the first Godzilla, this Godzilla's heat temperature is rising above the levels, and they're like, okay, blow up. Come on. Do you guys feel like maybe it's getting a little hot in here? And they're like, oh, fuck. He's converting the EMP energy into heat. He's basically making himself hotter than the sun. And yeah, he's basically trying to melt them out.
Yeah.
But then what ends up happening in the facility is that they're like, you're right. The only way to beat them is to basically meld with Mechagodzilla. And the commander, the alien commander who is in the facility starts letting the thing cover him and is like, come on, people, get in your seats and let's become one with Mechagodzilla. And it's like, fuck that. And they run off. And they're like,
this shit, I'm out.
Yeah, I'd get out too. That shit looked horrifying. And then
it only hurts at first.
Yeah, I know. I love how they say that. It's like, don't worry, it's fine. It's only gonna hurt at first. It's like, fuck that. And he's like, oh, your species is weak. Well, I know there's one guy who will do it. There's one guy who's different from all of you. And of course, they're talking about Sakaki.
Yeah.
And they're like, so what are we doing? And it's like, what we're going to have to do is basically become a spear as well. We designed them exactly like we designed the EMP spears. We'll just have to sacrifice ourselves. It's going to take 3 people. And they're like, but it's so hot that we can't get through there. And it's like, there is one component in the vultures that if we combined with nanite metal, it will be able to last enough time to kill Godzilla. And they're like, okay, who? Us! Whee! And they're like, oh god, no! And you hear Yukiko freaking out because that thing is covering her up fast.
Oh, yeah.
And then he's like, just give it in. It's okay, we can do this. But Sakaki, it's going on him, but right when it gets up to like his upper elbow, it starts retracting back.
Yeah.
And they're like, what's going on? Why isn't it affecting you? And we find out that somehow the Hutoas have basically found a way to make themselves immune to the nanite metal. And Sakaki, being one of the many people who are healed by them, is not affected by it. The only problem is Yukiko is. And we are just watching this poor girl screaming her ass off and getting covered head to toe with this. So they're like, we need to find a way to stop the nanite controls. So X-Fist calls them and says, there's one way we can do this. We have to go and destroy the...
the command center?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the reason why I feel the fight was so short is because they wanted to spend the last 10 minutes bringing you a really good question is... in order to kill a monster, we have to become one. So do you think that stopping us isn't going to hurt our chances of killing this thing? And along with Urabuchi's writing, even I was kind of like, I think I'd do it. I don't know exactly if in a natural scenario if I'd do it, but I feel in that case I probably would have. Like, knowing that I'm not in that scenario, I think I would have done it.
Yeah.
If it really happened, maybe I wouldn't have, maybe not. I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know. I probably would have.
Yeah, right? I mean, again, to kill something that big, that destructive, I would. I mean, I just wish they would have told us before doing it. Because
yeah, right?
One of the main things that...
What doesn't make sense? Wait, you said it was all... Wait, you said the Vulture were piloted or human piloted, right?
Yeah.
They can be manually piloted? Like...
remote? No.
No?
Mm-mm.
Oh, man. Because, I mean, they could have done the 3...
no, but the whole thing is...
Gamborian tribe to be in the Vultures.
Yeah.
Like, that could have worked.
Yeah, but I think it was one of those last-ditch efforts.
Yeah.
So, like, the last... the only choice they had. So, they really were just like, we didn't know we were going to have to do this, but we have to do this. The only thing is that they really should have just thought about, well, what about the humans? We have spent both of the movies, we have spent this entire time shit-talking them. Talking about how stubborn they are, how weak they are, how fragile they are. It's like, you don't think they're not going to be... You don't think they're going to be okay with this? Do you not think they're going to be like, fuck this shit? The thing with humans is the one thing we hold above all else is our humanity.
Yeah.
And the fact that we are having something that is forcefully taking away our humanity is not okay with us. And it was... And so, of course, Sakaki, both acting in a this is the right thing to do, along with you guys, you fuckers are killing my best friend, he does destroy the command center and stops the nanite spread and destroys the Mechagodzilla city. But at the same time, the nanite metals were basically, when they shut down the human host. So when he picks up Yukiko, her entire inside of her head just melted. Because you see her lifting him up, and you just see the nanite metal leaking from her eyeballs and nose. Meaning the nanite metal took out everything with her. And it ends, just like the first movie, it ends with him screaming. It just, the endings to these movies are super abrupt. Like, that is one thing I like, is it almost feels like they're telling one movie whole rather than like part 1 with a direct ending and part 2 with a direct ending. It's just like part 1, end, wait a few months, new movie. But what ends up happening is at the end credit scenes, we go all the way back to where Sakaki had the talk with Memphis, and Memphis is exactly like it says, is think of this name at the corner of your mind. Ghidorah. And it's just like, oh fuck, he's in this universe. And there's already been posters of what King Ghidorah might look like. There are posters of the star formations creating Ghidorah. Like, he's gonna be in this third movie. And it's really interesting how he's going to be in here. How is he going to find the planet? What's going to happen? That's why I think that little thing Memphis wanted to create.
I mean, yeah, if you tie that to what he said to Sakaki, to that little stone that he was holding, it would make sense, because at some point Sakaki might trigger the activation to bringing Ghidorah to Earth.
Yeah, and we even see that before that thing happens, you see what looks like this lightning formation creating the crest that was on the rock.
Yeah,
and it's so interesting seeing like how this is going to happen. And here's one thing I just thought of right now: they never did tell you the name of the god that the Exvis
yeah, that's true. Huh?
worship.
They say God, but they don't say who.
Yeah, they don't say what. They're just like, it's our God and he watches over everyone. So I'm thinking they worship Ghidorah and Ghidorah just destroyed the planet. Or maybe it could be that wasn't the planet, at least that wasn't the first planet, and they're going planet to planet, basically helping Ghidorah destroy it.
Oh God, it would make sense.
Yeah, doesn't it? Like right when you think about it, you're like, oh my God. But yeah, it's interesting seeing how they're gonna do this. So we still have some time. Ben,
and it sort of makes sense, because since Memphis doesn't know any information about the egg.
Exactly, and that's another thing we forgot to mention too. When the Hotoas were watching this entire fight happen, and when they witness that they didn't kill Mechagodzilla, you hear one of the elders say, "I guess it's time we awaken the prototype. Now come, children. We have to go and awaken it." And it's like, well, what's that? Are they going to wake up the egg? Like, is that what's going to happen? They know that this is the only way they're going to stop him is by awakening their god, basically.
Yeah.
And again, keeping the name completely hidden, even though we've said bug, egg, and I think we also refer to the feathers.
Yeah, feathers.
Yeah. Oh, and the fur on the skin too. So, yeah, you guys can pretty much guess what that is. But it looks like we're going to get a full-on monster throwdown in the second movie.
I want to say like it's a monster throwdown, but with Godzilla and that monster against Ghidorah.
Yeah.
Because the Exif has no information about that, and
Yeah.
if they are going planet to destroy it, it would make sense.
Yeah. And again, I think that is maybe one of the reasons why they haven't tried calling the god there. Maybe even they think, what if he can actually kill it? Like, what if Godzilla is capable of killing Ghidorah?
Okay.
Because in this one, they've never heard of it.
Yeah.
Like, Ghidorah's never showed down. And even if I'm right, when they show you the list of monsters that attacked the city in the first movie, none of them are actual Toho monsters. They all look like monsters they designed specifically for the movie. So it looks like this movie is its own canon. So again, Ben, how about you tell us what you thought of this film? Overall, all of them.
Overall, well, it's amazing. I mean, for a CGI film, I really got into it, especially the action, the way they designed Godzilla, everything. The action was amazing as well. Some of the visual effects were beautiful too, especially that scene when they enter that cave. That was all sparkling. Yeah.
Oh, and the city too. The part when they go to the city, that made me cry because it almost felt they were like, it's as if the Earth is trying to maintain the beauty of our planet.
Yeah.
And I'm like, aw. What else?
Yeah, that's about it.
Oh, okay, sorry. I thought I cut you off. So, yeah, let's do this. I'm a huge Godzilla fan. I'm not a kaiju groupie like Michael is. But I'm a pretty big fan of Godzilla. I used to love the 1998 movie because I was a dumb kid.
I forgot. I mean, I remember as a little kid, I keep picturing it where it was some tall-like creature in the night attacking.
Yeah.
Was it that one?
I think, yeah, because a lot of it happened at night because they were trying to hide the CG. But there is a part where they're running from a bunch of baby Godzilla dinosaurs.
No, but it was like taller than buildings. That's the thing. Was it that?
No,
movie?
it wasn't that big. No, the 1998 Godzilla, he wasn't that big. Hold up.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember that. Like, there'll be moments where I would picture that for some reason.
Yeah, maybe you saw it, but you're just thinking of it on a grander scale of what it is. Because it's actually, for some reason, they made it smaller than the actual Godzilla. This one?
No, it's not that one then.
Yeah, for some reason, they made him smaller than the actual Godzilla.
It looks like a dinosaur though.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the weird thing. They made it very much more like a giant T-Rex.
Yeah.
And that's why you know what the Japanese call him now, right?
What?
They just call him Zilla because there's nothing godlike like him, which is why we have an incredible scene in one of the Godzilla films where they fight, but it's only for like 14 minutes. But yeah, it's actually funny knowing that this Godzilla is canon within the universe. But yeah, I used to be a big fan of Godzilla. I am still a big fan of Godzilla. As you guys know, I fucking love Shin Godzilla. Not only is it my favorite Godzilla movie ever, but it's kind of up there in my top 10 now. But it's super near the bottom though. It's not up there. I'm not saying it's better than other masterpieces I've seen. It's just I really like what this movie did and how they did it. I thought the animation was amazing. Polygon, again, if there's anyone who says CG anime will never be good, I seriously just show them Ajin and tell them, did you enjoy that? And there was one person I did get. They're like, yeah, that was actually pretty cool. I'm like, right? Polygon, once again, they're knocking it out of the park with the movie. Fucking I don't know why I want to call him Goro, but Genoro Buchi is fucking amazing. Just bringing in his philosophical writings and talkings of humanity that he's covered in all of the anime he's worked on into Godzilla, and it feels very much at home here. I do have some issues with just the fact that I wish this Godzilla had a little bit more personality, but as the movies went on, in the second movie, they definitely fixed that.
Yeah.
This Godzilla felt more like its own thing, and it was great. I thought the characters are great. I was really surprised that they made me like Yukiko to the point where I felt really bad when she died.
I mean, every show I see where some female character dies with an obvious death flag. I mean, I do feel bad, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah, but the thing with her is not just it wasn't just with like the whole death flag thing, but it was also before the whole kiss thing happened, they did focus a little bit more on humanizing her character.
Yeah.
Just a little bit, but I did find her an actual character that I felt bad when she died. I also really like the fact that the movie made me think that they were right. They should. It's horrible what they did, but they were right. This was the only way to kill him, and if that was the cost, then they should have done it.
Yeah, I mean, if she was gonna die, you should have done it.
Yeah, lost it anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, again, the fact that we are getting two creatures in the hopefully getting two creatures in the second movie and not just one, is going to be awesome. I really hope Netflix releases this maybe by the end of December or the very beginning of July, because I very much cannot wait to see how this series.
Beginning of July? What the fuck?
Huh?
Beginning of July?
No!
Oh god!
The beginning of January. I want them to release this as soon as possible. And again, the fucking dub is just great. I love the Japanese voice acting, but the dub is awesome, people. Anyway.
Nothing amazing than Aiko.
Yeah, basically Netflix still has not done a dub as good as Aiko though. It's funny because they're both Netflix properties. What the fuck is happening in that show?
At least Neo Yokyu had a better dub.
It had better voice acting. It just had bad sound quality though. Isn't that right, guys? But yeah, god damn it, that threw me off. Yeah, that's our show. we're gonna spend a few minutes because I do want to get out. I do have work soon. I do want to spend a few minutes talking about the whole reason why this episode happened, though. You know, besides the fact that Ben also wanted to do this episode, it was a big coincidence that this just happened to come out.
The trailer.
Yeah. So guys, if you pay attention to your YouTube screens, go and check those out because for the first time, you guys are actually going to see the trailer playing on the YouTube screen. I might need to play with it a little bit to avoid copyright, but that is what I'm going to be doing every time we play a trailer, not an opening, but a trailer, because there is a website specifically made to help people get these trailers.
Our world is changing. The mass extinction we feared has already begun, and we are the cause. We are the infection. But like all living organisms, the Earth unleashed a fever to fight this infection. Its original and rightful rulers, the Titans. For thousands of years, these creatures have remained in hiding around the world. And unless all the Titans are found, our planet will perish, and so will we. They are the only guarantee that life will carry on.
You are out of your goddamn mind!
I am sorry, but this is the only way.
You're a monster. I'm sorry.
Long live the king.
So it's Godzilla, Mothra, Ghidorah, and Rodan.
Yeah. So my big issue so far with this movie, me and Michael talked about this years ago, is I feel they probably should have maybe led this movie with a smaller, iconic villain. Like it should have been something like Ghidorah, which is a giant slime monster a giant acid slime monster fighting him, and then they save they save Ghidorah for like the third movie, because I think putting this many monsters in here is kind of blowing the load a little too early. But my god, I'm gonna be lying if I don't fucking think it's awesome just looking at this trailer. And again, like, there's just some weird thing that keeps happening that every time I watch this trailer, I get a little teary-eyed. Like
I think it's the music.
Yeah, I think that's it. It's the music and like seeing like the scene, that fucking scene where
With Mothra.
Yeah, but Mothra's just spreading her wings, and it
And that's when the music picked up too.
yeah. Yeah. I know.
It's beautiful.
And it really does do a job. It just sucks that this was released almost an entire year before the movie actually comes out. I hate when they fucking do that.
Oh yeah, it was summer 2019. Huh?
Yeah, May 19th. So it's still like another 10 months to go, which fuck you guys for doing that.
And don't forget the possibility of a delay.
I hope. Actually, no. This was already delayed
Oh,
twice.
really? Wow.
Yeah. So what happened is it was supposed to come out last year, but what's his name? The director of the first movie, who directed Rogue One, dropped out. So they delayed it by a year, and I think it was supposed to come out in March. The beginning of the year it was supposed to come out, but then they pushed it again due to the early screenings that were happening back in April that were basically saying this movie is fucking awesome, but the humans suck, which has always been a problem with these giant monster movies, that the human characters are never that strong. I think the only film to kind of get that right was Colossal, but even then, that wasn't a traditional kaiju movie. That was a very weird type of kaiju movie. But yeah, so they kind of wanted to fix it up. So maybe that's why it got delayed. They want to make some of the human performances better and maybe fix up the writing. There's also a ton of mystery going on in this trailer too.
Wait. So this movie only has 4 monsters total?
4 monsters total, yeah.
All right.
They might try to fit in a 5th one, because this old man right here might be a specific character from a movie that came out last year. While I bring that up though, Ben, what do you think so far?
About the trailer?
Yeah.
4 monsters? Oh, 4 kaijus. I'd be fucking excited.
Right. 4 kaijus just throwing down.
Oh, King Kong? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I want to see. Yeah, no, but there is very high speculation that one of the characters from this movie is that old man, and the character specifically that they believe is this man right here. Tom Hiddleston's character.
But he's not old though.
This movie happens in the 70s.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. That's how you see the movie, and they're on Vietnam helicopters.
Yeah.
Because this movie, if you haven't seen it, takes place a little after America retreated from the World War, from the Vietnam War. Lost.
We lost the war.
Yeah,
we lost the war. They should know this by now.
Yeah, we lost, okay? We went into the territory and it was a terrible idea.
But they're grateful now. They got McDonald's.
Are they the one with duck?
Huh?
I think they're the ones with duck. Yeah, because infant McDonald's around the world have menus we don't have.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I think they're the ones with duck. But yeah, like baby duck, like they serve that unborn baby fetus over there, I think. But yeah, so because you've at least heard of that, what they're planning to do with Godzilla and this,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
And there was also some speculation of Kong possibly showing up in this new movie too.
Yeah, there's speculation that he might show
Thanks
up.
to Vahe.
Yeah, there's Vahe. Complicated relationship, that man. But there is speculation that he might be in this movie. Might, just for a little bit, because Kong right now is definitely announced to be in Godzilla vs. Kong, or Kong vs. Godzilla. Where in 2020 we are getting a movie directed by the guy who directed You're Next, the guy who directed The Guest, directed the Blair Witch and Death Note movie. But yeah, the guy who made some good movies and nowhere near at all 2 really bad movies. He directed the Death Note and Blair Witch movie.
Oh God.
Yeah, and I mean the new Blair Witch movie, not the old one, but like the new one. But yeah. But this guy, on the other hand, who's directing this Godzilla movie, is the director of Trick or Treat and Krampus, which I fucking love both of those movies.
And Food Fight.
No, God damn it! Yeah. Anyway, me and Ben, we're very excited for this movie. I'm very much looking forward to it next year.
Not as excited as Food Fight.
Stop! Why was that a thing? Why was it that Hilary Duff was his love interest? There's like a 30-year... Oh, there was a 30-year difference. Hey, I just realized something. New students have come in. Maybe it's still too early?
I think it was too early because they said it's 10. They say 10:45. It's barely 9:43.
Okay. Yeah. But no, fuck that movie. Anyway, guys, that was our show. Tune in next week. I need to text...
Tune in next week as we review Food Fight.
Shut up! We're not reviewing Food Fight.
Lewis' choice.
God damn. Lewis's choice is Food Fight. No! Lewis will be kicked out of the show if he chooses that. And you too, motherfucker. I will not even do a riff check of that movie. It's so painful to look at. Fuck that. Anyway, yeah. And our actual Godzilla month should be happening pretty soon. We don't know when exactly, but it will be happening sooner or later. And we might do a part 2 around the time the actual movie comes out because there's so many fucking films to cover.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But yes, that will be interesting. Anyway, I'm Danny.
And I'm Big Ben.
And you were almost about to say Dick again.
No.
Every time you say that, I keep hearing Big Ben. It's like, what? I know we made you say it for such a long time, but you don't have to say it anymore, Ben. You don't have to hurt it.
Food Fight.
Shut up. Anyway, bye.